Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to our live Q&A for postgraduate students interested in postgraduate study within the School of Social and Political Sciences. So I'm Gabby from the School of Social and Political Sciences at the University of Glasgow, and I'm really pleased to have you here today. Now, I know we have students tuning in from around the world, so thank you for joining us. Please feel free to add into the chat where you're watching from. So we'll be live for the next 40 minutes, and this will include a conversation with our students from the School of Social and Political Sciences about student life. And we'll also have the opportunity to answer any questions that you have in the live chat. So firstly, let me pass over to our wonderful students from the School of Social and Political Sciences to introduce themselves. We have Noemi. Hi, Noemi. How are you doing?
Hi, Gabby. I'm good, thank you. Hi, everyone.
Welcome. And we've also got Kenneth. Hi, Kenneth. How are you doing?
I'm well, Gabby. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us. And lastly, we have Sammy. Hi, Sammy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thank you for joining us today. So I think we'll just get started then. So I'm going to first of all ask Kenneth. So Kenneth, are you able to tell us a little bit about what you're studying and what you were doing before your master's program?
Okay, yes. My name is Kenneth. I'm from Nigeria. I'm currently studying a master's in global health at the University of Glasgow. And just before I came to the university, I had just finished off my undergraduate study in human physiology, and I was working as a healthcare assistant in the cardiology and respiratory units of a federal medical center back in my state. And so that was what one of the experiences that actually prompted me to come over here to continue a master's in global health. Yeah.
That's amazing. Great. And so what kind of inspired you to choose the University of Glasgow then?
Well, a lot of things went into that. First of all, I wanted to be in an environment where I would be exposed to a lot of learning. And because of my career direction, actually, I wanted to be somewhere where there is a lot of research going on, and I would be able to have, that in-depth knowledge of what it is that I actually want to do. And so the University of Glasgow is a place that actually I actually saw as positioning would be able to position me in the center of my field, given the kind of research that goes on at the university, and also the experience of the tutors and the lecturers as well. And so that was one thing that it was a defining thing for me. And aside the city itself, Glasgow, the university is centered in a very friendly and wonderful city. And I wanted somewhere where I wouldn't really feel so far from home. And that's something that I know Glasgow has provided for me. So even before leaving Nigeria, I saw Glasgow as being, that really warm place where I would also feel like I was just back home in Nigeria. And well, aside the weather, that's a very striking difference here. But then every other thing, the community, students, people, tutors, everyone has been really wonderful. And I actually kind of foresaw that before coming. And so it sealed the deal for me just before I came here.
That's amazing. Thank you, Kenneth. And I'm glad to hear that you've had such a wonderful experience. Thank you. And so, Sammy, how about you? I know you're from Oregon, the United States. So welcome, Sammy. Are you able to tell us a little about yourself, what you're currently studying, and what you were doing before your master's degree at the university?
Yes, so like Abby said, I'm Sammy. I'm from Oregon in the United States. I'm currently studying the Criminology and Criminal Justice Master's program here at Glasgow. And before I moved to Glasgow, I had been working as a paralegal at a civil litigation law firm for the past 4 years.
Amazing. Thank you for that introduction, Sammy. And Noemi, over to you. Are you able to tell us a little bit about what you're studying and what you were doing before your master's degree at the University of Glasgow?
Hi. So yeah, I'm a political communication student, and I also finished my undergrad last summer. I studied politics and sociology, and then in September I started my degree here at the University of Glasgow.
Amazing, thank you. Okay, so Kenneth, are you able to tell us a little bit about what you've enjoyed most about your program so far, and can you tell us a little bit about that, what you've been doing, what aspects of the program you've enjoyed?
Okay, yeah, quite a lot of things. I'll start with the fact that my current cohort is a really small cohort, and it's one of, particularly for me, it's something that I've really enjoyed. What that has done for us is that it has really allowed us to get a lot of very direct attention from our program conveners and our program leads as well. Because we are a small cohort, we are really able to come together over issues and put things on the table, discuss, and influence a certain amount of things, and then we really get that solved very, very quickly. And we always have these weekly meetings where we discuss things that are particular to our program, and also learn about each other's countries. And so every week, someone from a different country, or everyone from a particular country, comes up and they present about their countries, tell us about the healthcare system, the culture, and a few other things. And so I've learned about a lot of things from different countries all over the world. And then being a small cohort also, it has actually allowed us to have this bonding because we know everyone knows everyone's names. We all know everyone's countries and continents. And so there's this bond that has been created between all of us. And also because the program is actually a 1-year program, so it's kind of like we also are very intentional about each other's birthdays, because like we only have one chance to celebrate it with each other. So there's this intentionality about each other's birthdays, and it's something that I've really, really enjoyed, that bonding and community feeling. And then I also finally, the program has also been very, very insightful for me. I've really gotten exposure into a lot of things, and especially I would mention my core modules, which I took in my first semester. Those were really, really necessary modules. I didn't realize how necessary those would be, and how insightful they would be to like lay the background for the rest of what I would be doing in my second semester. And so generally the program has really given me that great foundation into like what I want to do going forward in my career. And so it's something that it actually beats my expectation of what I thought I was going to see. And that has been very, very it's been something really amazing for me, and I've enjoyed for the time. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Ken. It's so lovely to hear about your classroom diversity and all those social connections that you've made and the sense of community that you've experienced at the university. That's lovely to hear. And Sammy, how about you? Can you tell us about the aspects of your program which you've enjoyed, and just a bit more about what you've particularly enjoyed about your program?
Yeah, so I've really enjoyed the sociology emphasis of an approach to criminology and criminal justice, which is one of the reasons that I chose Glasgow to begin with, is that their criminology program is situated within the School of Social and Political Sciences. A lot of schools situated within the law school, so this has been a new approach. I did study criminology and criminal justice from my undergrad, but it was more of a quantitative focus. So I was really looking to get into qualitative research, and I feel like it's been challenging, but very approachable. I've been able to get a lot of support with that, and that's been very enjoyable. Like Kenneth, I also really enjoy the small size of my cohort. We have maybe 30 people total, and that's a combination between taught and research masters within criminology. So that has been really enjoyable. Also, the variety in courses that you can take in like term 2 have been really fun. I just got done taking a crime control in the city course, which was urban geography, spatial theory, which is all very new to me, very, very exciting. And then lastly, one of the things that I've been fortunate enough to have experienced the launch of is the Practice Hub this year with the criminology program. They've launched like a research cohort with the lecturers and students, and so that has been a really enjoyable way to get hands-on research experience.
That's great. I know that you mentioned to me before that you were really looking for a degree that was research focused, and you really enjoyed the program because of that connection with the research centre. So that sounds really interesting. So in terms of the practice hub, then have you been able to support the lecturers and get involved in kind of research projects and collaborate with faculty? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, so I have worked on 2 projects that have been kind of intertwined. You get going on one project and different questions pop up, so you start exploring those, that kind of thing. One of the reports that we just worked on was just published with the Scottish Centre for Crime and Justice Research, so I helped a little bit with data collection and submitting Freedom of Information Act requests, and so that was a really valuable skill to learn as well.
That's lovely. Amazing. Thank you, Sammy. Sounds like you've been having a great time. And Noemi, are you able to tell us a little bit about what you've been enjoying about your program, Political Communication?
Yeah, so similarly to both Kenneth and Sammy, I also come from a small cohort, which it's just made the whole experience even more intense, I feel like, from a human perspective, because I feel like we all ended up getting really close and being able to hang out also outside of the classroom, which was also really helpful. And also there's a big variety of countries from which people are coming from, which I thought really enriched my experience here, because even during the seminars and the discussions, you get so many different perspectives based on where people are coming from. So I thought that really added something to my experience here. And as well, like the choice of additional modules, like the optional ones, has been really thorough. You can, there's more, like there's ones that are more focused on politics, some that are more into the communication area, but I feel like there's something for everyone. I feel like I had the chance to really tailor my experience this year based on my interests. So I think that, yeah, those were probably the 2 aspects that I enjoyed the most about my course.
That's amazing, and great to hear that you've really enjoyed that rich, classroom experience with, classmates from around the world, which has really, enhanced your student experience, which is amazing. I'm pleased to hear that. Okay, so Kenneth, are you able to tell us a little bit more about what you hope to achieve in the future? What are the next steps for you in terms of your career, and how do you feel your master's program will help prepare you for your career moving forward?
Okay, yeah. So I actually plan to become the center focus of the interest in my career is in global health innovations, so healthcare and technology, especially for low and middle income countries. And so I plan to become a global health innovations consultant for like national governments, international governments, international organizations, pharmaceuticals, and maybe some large world corporations. So that would require me to do some level of intervention development and program management as well, which is something that I've been learning through my current program, both in my core courses, which took me through intervention development, and currently in my second semester, some courses in management, and also in public health and public health practice as well. And so that would also require me to have a very good understanding of like the social determinants of health and the challenges of healthcare in the regions that I'm actually looking to be able to analyze those problems and also develop interventions for like those regions. And so far, what my program has done for me is that it has given me that in-depth understanding of how healthcare intersects with a lot of other sectors around the world. So we're talking about technology, aid, trade, debt, economics, and all the rest of it. And so all of these intersections actually also help to see where and how we can actually solve healthcare problems. And so it also helps me to be able to plan some of these interventions and also see how healthcare is actually very dependent on policies as well. So what my program is doing for me is that it's helping me to position myself as someone who can actually play around in that industry. And so far I've been able to build that confidence. I've been able to build my confidence, and currently even working on my dissertation, it's just around the same area. And I believe that on getting out of the program, I will be properly set up to push on to what I intend to do.
That's amazing. Fantastic, Kenneth. Great that you've had those amazing experiences as part of your program. You've been able to develop those skills, and you really are focused in terms of what you want to do next and the next steps for you. And you now have the experience to take that forward. So that's amazing. Thank you. And how about you, Sammy? What do you hope to achieve in the future with your degree? And do you feel that your master's has helped to prepare you for your next steps in your career?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get into policy work or comparative studies. So this master's program will help me to re-enter the legal field with more nuanced understanding of structural issues that are related to justice and provide me with a foundation for implementing more sociological and human-centered solutions and alternatives to a punitive criminal justice system. And then alternatively, I may pursue a PhD following the master's program as well. So, but I foresee me going back into the legal field after this for a little bit.
Oh, that's great, because you did. I remember you saying that you worked as a paralegal as well, but that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of move into more of policy work and comparative studies in terms of your sociology work as well. That's amazing. Thank you. And how about you, Noemi? What about you? What do you hope to achieve in the future, and do you think your master's will help?
So at the moment, I don't have any definitive plans for next year. However, I feel like what I really appreciated from this course is that we've had a chance to attend many panels with alumni from this course. So you could see the different routes and how you can apply the skills that we've learned during this year through like different fields. So I thought that was really helpful, and it helped broaden my horizons in general. So I feel like there were many careers, especially when it came to more media-focused careers, journalism, that I hadn't previously considered with just my politics background. Whereas this year has actually pushed me towards that direction a bit more. And also, as Sammy said, I'm also considering staying within the academic field and possibly doing a PhD later on. But definitely for next year, I would like to get some work experience done in the field. And I feel like this program helped me consider some other paths that I hadn't previously thought about.
That's amazing. Thank you. That's good to hear that it's kind of opened up, your window to different opportunities in different career fields as well, and expanded those opportunities for you. So that's great. Okay, so Kenneth, outside of your program, have you been involved in university life, clubs and societies, for example? I know that you're currently the vice president of the Nigerian Student Society, which is fantastic, and I know you do a lot with them, attend a lot of socials, and you found a real sense of community in that society, as well as some of the other Glasgow University society. So are you able to tell us a little bit about that and your involvement in that, and just about the community at the School of Social and Political Sciences as a whole?
Oh yeah. Currently I'm the vice president of the Nigerian Student Society, which is a volunteering role, and actually is I must say is actually more intense than I expected it to be. But it has been a very amazing and insightful role. We've been able to do a couple of events in collaboration with a couple of other societies, and not just societies in the University of Glasgow, but as well with other schools, Glasgow Caledonia University and other universities just around Glasgow. And some of these events have been really helpful, especially to undergraduate students and masters, postgraduate students as well. And we've done some of them for PhD students. And we also do events around, distressing just after exams, to bring everybody together and have that community bonding again. And it's a society that's not just open to Nigerians, it's open to people from other countries. We have a couple of people from Ghana, South Africa, and we have I think we have one or two Indians as well. So people who just want to be part of what we do in the Nigerian society, just to have that sense of belonging and community with students around the University of Glasgow. And so yeah, that's been one of my major roles so far in the university. But outside of the university, I also volunteer as a cancer research campaigns ambassador. So it's a role where I do some advocating for policies that will help to better cancer outcomes in the UK. And so what that involves is that I, as a constituent and also as a volunteer, I help to influence politicians to actually push for policies that can help to better cancer outcomes. So also to help to improve cancer research within the UK and to help to better the health outcomes of people, just to reduce the prevalence of cancer in and around the United Kingdom. And so outside that as well, I've done some volunteering in a couple of other things, some marathons that have gone that have been in Glasgow and also in Edinburgh, some races, just like the kilt walk that was completed, that was done. I think that was 2 weekends ago. Yes. So I was a route volunteer there. Also, I'll be volunteering in the Race for Life Cancer Research UK. That's on the May 18th. And so yeah, some of these things and a couple of them, I think too many to mention. But yeah, there's been, in terms of volunteering, there's so much that you can do here in Glasgow and also in the university as well.
Sounds amazing, Kenneth. Sounds like you've been up to so much. I know that you're part of all these communities that you love, and that's amazing that you've found that these groups and that sense of community as well. And I know you mentioned also that you'd been part of the organising committee for your global health field trip to Geneva. So are you able to tell us a wee bit about that as well?
Oh yes, so the Global Health Masters program usually has a field trip every year to Geneva, where we get to visit some international organizations, so including the Geneva Environment Network, World Health Organization, United Nations Development Program, and also pharmaceuticals like the Gavi. And so we've been able to establish communication so far with some of these organizations, and we have dates actually. So the trip is coming up soon, and actually at the moment we have more sessions than our days can carry, and so we are looking for how to like cut down on our sessions right now, because we've had more sessions than longer than our stay can afford us to have. And so it's been amazing so far, getting to communicate with these organizations. There's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of rearrangements and all of that, but it's been an amazing experience getting to communicate with these organizations and actually set up meetings, and where they ask us what we intend to discuss, the areas that are going to be helpful to us and what we are looking to discuss with them. And so they are able to prepare on those sessions for us to be able to give us the best knowledge, and just also to be able to network and create that connection with some of these organizations, because these are also target employers for people who are graduating from a program like the Global Health MSc. And so it's a very necessary field trip, actually, because it helps to get that networking going and create those connections even before we get out there into the job market.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much. That's amazing, Kenneth. And Noemi, I know that you've, socially, are you able to tell us a bit about, how you've been involved in any clubs or societies and about the community within SBS? I know that you've attended a ball recently and you've also done some races.
Yeah, so this year was the first year that I finally found the courage to join a sports club. So I've been into running for a while, and during my undergrad, I always found sports club to be a bit daunting. And then during the sports fair during the Freshers Week here in Glasgow, I noticed how friendly and open everyone was at the stall. So I decided to give it a go. And it just made my whole experience here, like this whole year, like just amazing, because you get like a chance to meet with people who are not in your course. So it's a whole different group of people from different courses, different ages. And it's also like just a nice opportunity to exercise together, explore the West End. We usually jog around the West End. And also I've been to some races with them. So it's a nice way to also travel around and visit a bit the UK. So I've been really enjoying that aspect of my social life, as well as attending events organized by the School of Social and Political Sciences. So for example, there was the SPS Bowl a couple of weeks ago, a month ago maybe now. And again, that was like a new experience for me. I've never attended like a formal event like that. And I went with my classmates. So as I said earlier, we're a smaller cohort. So we are all pretty good friends by now. And it was just so nice to celebrate the end of the semester by attending the ball and having dinner all together and getting to dance. There was like a bit of a Kaylee moment at the end of it. And yeah, I really enjoyed that.
That's amazing. Thank you, Noemi. And Sammy, have you been involved in any clubs outside of your program?
I've joined a few societies when I first moved to Glasgow. I joined the Dinner with a Stranger Society in order to meet new people outside of my course. And some of my closest friends are actually people I've met through that, so that was really fun. And then I'm also a part of the Mature Students Association, which provides a really nice study space that we did have access to 24 hours. They've moved buildings now, but they're on their way back to their old building. And then on top of that, I have a few on-campus jobs, which has allowed me to meet new people in different areas as well. And then through our research design course that's required in the first term, that involves people from multiple different programs. So that was also a nice way for me to meet people outside of the criminology department.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Sammy. So I think what we'll do is we'll move on to some of our questions that have come through the live chat. So we have a question here from a member, one of our attendees, and it says, I've accepted a master's offer. It's a 12-month course with May exams. Are dissertations also due then, like undergrad? Or dissertations due the following September with a winter graduation. So Sammy, I'm aware that you're working on your dissertation at the moment, and I believe you begin your dissertation process in the second semester around January time. Is that around the time that you start thinking about your topic? And
yeah, it seems to be a little bit different for each program when they start discussing their dissertation, but you'll normally have workshops that will start. Mine did start in January, and then we had our proposals due in March, and then I got my supervisor assigned also in March, and now I'm working on my dissertation project with on my literature review right now, and my project is due on September 1st, and I have a December 1st graduation date.
That's amazing. Thank you. And Noemi, are you able to tell us a little bit about your dissertation process? I know that you you've also started your dissertation process as well.
Yeah, so I seem to have had a similar timeline to Sami. I think that we had a research design course in first semester, which was really helpful to lay a base on just like starting thinking about what research methods we might want to use for our dissertation projects, and even just discussing topics with both the tutors and our classmates. So that was really helpful. But yeah, it was January when we fully started having workshops and thinking about it a bit more seriously. And then, yeah, I've also been allocated my supervisor in March, and I had feedback on my proposal. So got the heads up to start working on the actual literature review. And my dissertation is also due in September. So we have a first draft due mid-July, and then the whole dissertation completed is due in September.
That's amazing. Thank you, Noemi. So we have a question here from an attendee, and this question is for you, Sami. So the question is, as someone who is also from the United States, how did you come to the decision to study at the university? So why come to the UK and Scotland specifically to study at the University of Glasgow?
Yeah, that was specific to my program of interest being criminology, and having also studied criminology in the United States, I knew I wanted to look elsewhere if I wanted to continue in criminology, just because a lot of the master's programs in the United States are specific to maybe law enforcement or corrections focus, and I knew that that was something I didn't want to go into. And I also wasn't interested in going to law school, so I wanted to look for something that was more sociology but also research based, and so that drew me to looking at universities in the UK. Also, the universities and the programs here are a year versus 2 years, and it ended up being a little bit cheaper for me to do it here than to go in the United States. And I also really wanted some life experience as well, which drew me to an international university, as well as like continuing education.
Okay, that's amazing, Sami. Thank you for that. And we also have a question here from a member of the audience, and it's to do with, government's immigration proposal. What's the likelihood of visa denial for placement holders from affected nations? So the market does change for student visas. It is changeable. All I can say is, submit your visa application once you have received your CAS, your confirmation of acceptance of studies. Put your visa in and see how you get on. But I'm not aware of any kind of visa denials at the minute for our current students. So all I can say is put your application in for your visa once you get your CAS, and see how you get on. But we are here to support you with that process. If you do have any questions, then you can reach out to the student recruitment team following the webinar, and we'd be more than happy to help. Okay, so I have a question from another attendee, and this question is, for those of you who have studied something similar to your postgraduate degree in undergrad, have you noticed a difference in the postgraduate programme? So I don't know, Noemi, did you study something similar in your undergraduate programme to political communication?
Yeah, so my undergrad program was in politics and sociology, which was really good at giving me a baseline to start off from, but it's also a very broad degree. So I feel like during those 4 years, I got a chance to encounter like so many different, touch on so many different research areas, which was really interesting. But I feel like my postgrad studies have been a lot more focused and tailored to my interests compared to my undergrad. So there was definitely a difference when it came to that. And also political communication is slightly different from politics. So I had the chance to look at some specific aspects of politics when it comes to how the media is involved into the political process, both in democracies and authoritarian countries, how civil society can use the media. A lot of emphasis was put on also on the role of digital media in today's society. So I feel like those were topics that were very briefly touched on during my undergrad studies, whereas this year was a lot more we talked about them a lot more extensively. So I think that, yeah, for me, there was a bit of a difference also in the subjects and the topics, but also I feel like the approach was a lot more focused and narrowed down compared to my undergrad.
Okay, thank you for that explanation, Noemi. We do have another question here. So I'm considering doing the Human Rights and International Politics course, but I did biology as my undergrad. Do you think I would be accepted? Would there be a crossover from a science course to political be a struggle? We do generally look for students who have an undergraduate degree from the social sciences kind of background, because we're looking for that kind of critical analysis side of things. So that is one thing I would say. Whether you would be accepted if you don't follow the kind of traditional degree background route, it would depend on exactly what you studied in your undergraduate degree, and also whether you have any relevant work experience. But all I would say is look at the entry requirements on your programme web page and the degree backgrounds that they're looking for, and then consider whether your background would be relevant. But you can also email the student recruitment team again, and we can liaise with the academics and find out if your background would be a good fit. We can definitely do that. Okay. I've got another question here. So how demanding did you find your master's? I will need to continue working, but I'll need to let my manager know and whether I should change my contracted hours. So the master's programme is going to be an intense year. It is a full-time 12-month master's. Many of our students do work part-time, and you're allowed to work as an international student up to 20 hours per week. So you wouldn't be able to continue a full-time professional role, but certainly our students all do work part-time. But you will have a lot of coursework to do as well. So I don't know if any of our students can comment on that. I know we've only maybe got about 1 minute left. Sammy, would you like to comment on that question, how demanding it is and whether you can manage part-time work as well?
Sure. Like I said, I have 2 part-time on-campus jobs. I do have the visa, so I am restricted to 20 hours a week. I don't find that to be an issue, but I don't work the full 20 hours a week because it's, at least not when courses were happening, it's too much reading to work that much and dedicate that much time to being prepared for your seminars, but it definitely is doable to do like 10, 15, that kind of thing. And then you can also ramp it up in the summer during dissertation, depending on, your methods, what your research techniques are and all that.
Okay, lovely. And I know that we're coming to the end of our live Q&A today. So I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. I hope you found today's session useful. There is a recording available if you want to watch anything back. We'll continue to stay in touch with more information. And in the meantime, you can chat to our uni buddies, who are a group of students, staff and alumni who are happy to answer your questions. You can also reach out to the student recruitment team following the live event with any other further questions, and we'd be more than happy to help you. So I'd like to thank everyone again for joining us, and we really look forward to welcoming you to the University of Glasgow and Team UofG very soon in the not so distant future. So thank you everyone and goodbye. Thank you.